nomination for the 9th Senate is not personal, as I said. It's part of what we need to do in the polity of this country. The Senate is a Senate. The Senate is a definition. These are leaders by their own right. So, first of all, it is wrong for leaders to be given a leader from among themselves. They are supposed to decide who among themselves is supposed to be their leader. And that also is taken care of by the Constitution of the Federal Republic. Section 51 of the Constitution is very clear as to how the Senate should leadership or president should emerge. But let me quickly add that that is not to say that I think I'm more qualified to be the Senate leader than all other 108. I'm not better than them in any way. In fact, if you are to use certain criteria, most of them were born with silver spoon. I'm somebody that came up from a very poor background. My father did not go to school. My father is not educated. My father is not rich. My father, and as I always say, I'm son of nobody that became somebody without knowing anybody. I'm very mindful of that. Having said that again, I'm a human being that have rights guaranteed by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which I don't compromise. So I have my reason, my people. I represent my constituents, as we have been following expressmen. Even before I threw in my hat into the ring for the Senate President, my people called upon me to throw in my hat for the Senate President. And I did, for many reasons. One, I feel I'm qualified. Two, I feel I should be given the chance. Three, the zoning was made to Northeast deliberately because of this precarious situation that we find ourselves. The insurgents have inflicted a 9.2 billion destruction on the Northeast. And you need somebody who wears the what do you say? You will not tell me now, Israel. You will know where it reaches most. We in Borno, in fact, are in the epicenter of the destruction of Boko Haram. So it is not like what you will get from the office of the Senate President, but what you can do with it. If you are the Senate President in this country, you will be able to globetrot around, tell people how the problem is, because you are in the face of the problem, you know how it is. That's one of my reasons. So if this opportunity is given to us, we have two critical or even three critical issues, in Borno particularly and in the Northeast in general. One is the issue of the recharging of the Lake Chad, which should be taken globally by somebody that knows it, somebody that can explain better to the people. Two, the issue of insurgents, as I said, it has inflicted a 2.7 trillion naira damage on us. If we are to go by federal allocation that we get monthly and the budget of the state, it would take us ages. We can even forget it, that our generation, as to when our state can be recovered. Right now, you can rightly say that Borno State is a failed state, Borno particularly. And the only way to bring it back is to have a way. And part of it is because I know, and my passion for it, because it affects me directly. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, I cannot comfortably drive to my local government. It has to be, my local government has no light now, it's not connected. My local government has no telephone because the insurgents have destroyed all it. The ecosystem is destroyed. Our schools are closed. There is no school now in Goza local government that used to have more than 10 secondary schools. So, if you have an opportunity to be in a position of influence, you have to take it to the last to see whether you can. That is one reason. Secondly, I have been in this place for quite a while. The National Assembly, or the Senate particular, was or intended to be a stabilizing institution in the policy. When we came in, the senators were not doing much. We in the House of Rep, I was in the House of Rep then, provide the input and they provide the advice. And they are taking less of things like motions and all that. And they are doing the senatorial job. Gradually, this is drifting. And we have gotten to a point now, for God's sake, where from outside, a Senate president or senators president will be put upon or imposed on senators. I am glad that the party, after doing that announcement, realized that it was wrong. It's unconstitutional. Even the party supremacy they are talking about in Article 2 of the APC Constitution, it says that subject to the provision of the Constitution, the APC will do that, provide services, listen to the government, but subject to the Constitution. And the Constitution, as I said, Section 50 is very clear about emergence of the leadership. Besides, in all the emergence of candidates of APC, there is no provision for imposition. There is none. The president emerged through a democratic process, and that is election. And the election was open. It was zoned, but the zoning was to be in line with the Constitution. But even then, at the first instance, Rochas Okorocha contested, and he was not disciplined, or he was not, nobody was angry with him for doing that. Buhari contested with Atiku, Gandu, what was that? Kwankoso, and the others. That was even when he was to come back for the second time. The contest was open. I think two people picked the form. Later on, they dropped it, and that is the number one option in the party, consensus. If the consensus is not, you choose either direct or indirect process. The chairman also was contested. The chairmanship position was contested. And the emergence, even when others stepped down, the election was at the Eagle Square held, and it was through what? Open, secret balloting. So that of the Senate cannot be exception. And I hope, as we see, that wisdom and knowledge will prevail so that the right thing will be done. Having said that, it is the 109 of us. And it is not only that, most importantly, nobody is talking about what, I'm the only person that's talking about what I want to do. Nobody is talking about what you want to do. All they say is about the party said, what are you going to do? Why do you want to be the Senate president? I was thinking that there will be opportunity and Israel will organize for a debate between me and his candidate. So that people... We're planning it. Yes, people will talk. You present yourself. You present what you want to do. Already I have a copy.